The Mixed Mornings and More podcast with Steph and Sean.
Now available daily.
Good morning, world.
Good morning. Happy Monday. It's April 24th. It's 5:31 right now. And did you see the Northern Lights on your way to work, Steph?
No, Sean, it was raining. Did you see them on your way to work?
It was raining. Oh, yeah. It wasn't raining when I walked to work this morning.
Oh, lucky guy.
Yeah, no, I didn't. I have like a hurt neck because I was like just looking up the entire time and a little strained. And even last night is when it all started. And this is just like what the season has been like for trying to watch the Northern Lights. I have the app. It goes off, sends me a notification. Hey, if you're in the area, you might be able to see them. No, it's cloudy. It's cloudy all the time.
It's cloudy all the time. So how many times did you go outside to check and see if the clouds are still there?
Yeah, I think originally when it first got dark, when is the sun set nowadays? 7-ish?
9? I don't know. 8?
Oh my gosh, I got it in front of me. Yeah, holy crap. Almost 9 o'clock. You're right. 7. Who am I?
A guy who watches hockey all day and tunes out the world.
That's right. I'm like, time? What's time? I've been watching 6 hours of hockey over here. So I think I went out around 9 first when it finally started to get dark outside and saw nothing but clouds. And then all of a sudden the Oilers were going to overtime. So in between third period and overtime, I think it was around an hour later, 10 o'clock. Pop out again. Nah, still cloudy. Still cloudy. So then finally when the Oilers won in overtime,
Hey.
I was like, I'm giving it one last go. I need like a good showing. I haven't had a good showing. Nah, still cloudy.
Okay,
Still
well,
cloudy.
when's the next time we're supposed to have a clear night? Not until Thursday. Can we
Ish.
put our order in now? with
That's
the
right.
app? Hello, can the Northern Lights come out on Thursday?
Please.
Girl Guides is such an interesting place because the girls come for 2 hours. They just get dropped off and they leave. And you don't really know anything about their families or their siblings.
Not enough time to deep dive
Yeah, exactly.
who the person really is.
I don't see anybody in another grade or anything like that. And yesterday we were at Girl Guide Camp and the parents came to pick them up and one of the parents brought a younger sibling. And one of my guides goes, "You have a sister? I didn't know." And the other one replied, "Yeah, you'd probably be best friends because you're both chaotic."
Oh my God.
It's like, and you're savage. Oh my God.
That's like classic sister talk right there. Like, yeah, I hate her. She's my sister. Ugh.
I finally had a weekend away and now that they're here to pick me up, they brought her for the ride.
Yeah. I am running into a problem with my Tide cold pods and I'm throwing it out there because, Steph, I don't think you use them.
I do not.
I'm throwing it out there to anyone, whether you use the pods, the cold pods, anything in between. If you've had problems with them, 780-791-1037. So essentially, the only instructions I see on the box when I'm using my Tide cold pods are that you put the pod in first. They're cold pods, so you wash in cold, and then you don't overload the laundry.
Okay.
Because then the pod maybe doesn't have like room to dissolve. But then other than that, that's the only instructions I see from Tide. It should work.
And I mean, as far as laundry detergent goes, there shouldn't be any other instructions. Otherwise, why are you using that thing,
real.
right? You know?
For real, it should be easy. It should be easy. But the past couple of loads of laundry I've been doing, it's been dissolving like on a shirt. And then I just have to throw, like well, it depends on what it dissolves on. It dissolved on one of my sweaters and I'm working to get rid of the residue that it left on my sweater. But then in another load, it dissolved on like a white t-shirt and I have about 50 of those. So I just was like, well, this is a rag now type of thing.
But it's soap, so if it should not stain. Like, it's not like it's fabric softener.
But I think the plastic that it comes in that dissolves, it instead of dissolving in the laundry, it dissolves on the shirt. So the plastic like kind of like melts and dissolves on the shirt, and now you have like orange, or not the orange, but like the blue and purple soap now stained on the shirt, and then you have this plastic residue kind of stained on the shirt as well.
I'm really sorry to hear this, Sean. This sucks.
And it's so Tide Pods were so easy. It just took all the measuring. It took everything out of it. You just toss one in, you get it. It's perfect for Bachelor. But now I think I'm gonna have to transition back to the little cup of detergent and pour.
Well,
it
I
in.
have some good news for you. I might be able to save you some money.
Okay.
So remember last week I was telling you about the laundry detergent I bought that I can't handle the smell of.
Oh yeah.
So there's 100 loads in that jug, and I've only used 6 of them, and I would be so happy to give it to you.
I'm a buyer. You're a seller. I'm a buyer. As long as I can smell like that and you're not have to leave work because of it, boom.
I don't think I'll be able to smell you across the way. It's like wearing the sweater that smells like it is one thing. Somebody else walking in smelling like Gain laundry detergent, I'm fine with that.
Cool. In the meantime, I have some Tide Pods to sell if anyone wants them.
I went to Girl Guide Camp this weekend, and I was in charge of one of the crafts called a kaleidoscope.
Okay, very cool. Very fun.
Yeah.
I remember those.
Yeah, right? Just spinning, put some beads in the end. Pretty cool looking. And I knew that I needed 3 mirrors per kid to make this thing happen. And I couldn't find mirrors anywhere in town. And so, of course, online I went to order some. And delighted to find a package of 120 mirrors, 8 by 2 inches, exactly the size that I needed.
Yeah.
I was like, this is amazing. I paid $9 extra to rush them to Fort McMurray. And they arrived Thursday night. We left for camp Friday morning. And they were not 8 by 2 inches.
No.
But in fact, they were the tiniest mirrors I've ever seen. They were, what were they?
3/8. 3/8 by 2 inches, not 8 by 2. You called me over like, how could this gone wrong? I was like, show me the website. Where did you order them from? Let's look at this together. Let's break it down. It took me half a second. I'm like, you ordered 3/8 by 2 inch mirror. Even the picture of the mirror is absolutely tiny.
Okay, but the picture had no scale in it. There was nothing else in the picture other than the mirrors. How was I to know that those mirrors were 2 by 3/8 inches? I just thought they had the camera really far away from their 8 by 2 inch mirrors.
I don't know. Just like the largest measurement, let's go on both of them. So the largest measurement on 3/8 by 2 is the 2 inches. The largest measurement on 2 inches by 8 inches is the 8 inches. So that's what you wanted. You wanted the 8-inch mirrors. That's like, we have TV remotes, a stapler in here, air freshener thing like that. Those are all around 8 inches.
Yeah.
Like, I'm picturing that on the picture, and they were all just these 3/8 by 2 inch mirrors. I'm like, where do you get a giant 8-inch mirror out of all this?
Okay, so apparently you're just better at reading than I am. I would like to say, when you type something on a computer and it's a fraction, it makes it a fraction for you most of the time. It's like 1/2. That's a half, and I'm going to make it tiny. Why did the 3/8 look like company name 3/ we're selling you 8 by 2 inch mirrors? That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
Tricky online. Yeah. Could you use them?
No, they are going back. I'm not going to get my $9 shipping back, but I hope to get my $17 back, which probably should have been another clue. 120 mirrors for $17. Did I really think they were 8 by 2? I did. Yes, I did. I learned about a cool thing some friends of mine are doing, and that is an appliance swap. And so basically, you buy something, you've got grand plans with it. For instance, the Instant Pot. Mine is just a pulled pork cooker. I cook nothing else in it.
It's got one use.
It's got one use. But if your appliance literally has 0 uses and you're like, I never use this thing, perhaps you could find somebody else who has the same problem with a different appliance and swap them.
Oh, interesting. That's such a cool idea.
Yeah, so my friend is swapping her soda stream that she says she never got into for a little green machine, which is like that vacuum spot cleaner. And her friend was like, I don't have as many stains as I thought I would on my carpet, so this is an unused appliance. And she's like, I don't crave sparkling water as much as I thought I was. So they're switching their appliances. Yeah,
it seems like a last haul before maybe you would sell it online, toss it, get rid of it. Try one more thing. Maybe you can make it work.
Yeah, totally. And if you can't, well, okay, sell that instead. It's not that big of a deal. But I thought, man, how many appliances do I have in my cupboard right now that I could maybe find someone to swap with? I do have a bread machine that I got 8 years ago, but I make bread from scratch, so it doesn't get used hardly ever. ever.
Yeah, I don't have a need for that. I'm trying to find someone maybe that. What can I use? Maybe like a barbecue or something. What do I have to offer up? I have like an electric shaver or something.
That's not a fair trade. In fact, it's a terrible one.
Offer the worst things. Be like, hey, how about you give me that barbecue over there? Huh?
I think you're going to have to make some friends with some bigger fools than the friends you have right now if you want that to happen.
I attended a outdoor campfire on the weekend, and a love-hate relationship with these, Steph.
What's there to hate about an outdoor campfire?
What do you mean? What is there to hate? It's the smell. It's the constant smell of fire for the next week. You just have it burned in your nose.
Okay, but it's like delicious smelling when you're out there. Like it's so the smell of summer. The smell of warm days of sitting outside and taking in this air with your friends.
To each their own, I guess. Don't get me wrong. Company, absolutely fantastic. The stories, everything of that nature, always so much fun. The beverages, it's great. the warmth, absolutely fantastic. That's the love part of it all.
Okay.
The hate part, having to go home, strip, wash, shower again. Might as well shower a third time.
What?
And then waking up, washing your bedding because you probably still stink, showering again, and then your throat a little scratchy, your nose. I got a nosebleed yesterday. Haven't had one of those in a couple years.
So you're blaming that on the fire too?
100%.
Not just the dry air.
I can smell it whenever I just walk around. I can still have whiffs of it, and even I have to do an individual wash of my clothes again. And it's just the love hate. It's real. I haven't been to a campfire in a while. Went to one on the weekend. I'm like, yeah, that's good for a little bit.
So you're just, if somebody invites you to a campfire, you're going to be like, there's a hockey game on. Or
Yeah.
you're going to find an excuse not to go after this.
I got the cold right now.
It's like the first fire of the season when you were like, I'm good for a year. I'll
Put
wait
in
till
my
next
work.
April and see.
I put my dues in.
Heist shows are all the rage right now. We had the Kaleidoscope come out. That was so interesting. There is The Heist, and that one was in Spanish overdubbed. So good. And now we had a real life heist happen in Canada. So obviously they're going to make a movie about that as well.
Yeah. The one that happened over at Pearson Airport in Toronto. $20 million of gold. Is that what was stolen?
Yes. Gold and other valuables. And basically a plane came in with this cargo container on it filled with all of this gold. Must have been very heavy. They took it to a cargo storage facility, and apparently some thieves came in from the public side of this warehouse and obviously very
Stole it somehow.
skilled criminals stole it, and the police actually think that it probably left the country already.
That's wild. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's so interesting. And I remember just reading somewhere the people who were doing security for it were like, oh, that we had our doors. That door wasn't our responsibility or something. No, don't point it at us.
yeah, it's so interesting. And it's funny because I think in heist movies like The Italian Job and stuff, it's an hour and a half of your time and everything's wrapped up in a pretty little bow, and a lot of times you're rooting for the criminals. And then in all these other heist shows as well, enjoying it. This is great. But this, I'm like, give me some more information.
Yeah.
I've read this article as per an episode per se, but what's next? What's next? And I wonder, are we going to ever learn what is next? Or are we going to make a movie speculating all of the police's ideas, but never ever catch the thieves and have that unsatisfying moment at the end of the film?
I love it all. I love it. And I love that it's our own Canadian heist story. Even if stuff was stolen, whoops, bad, whatever. But just that it was in our own backyard, and we're definitely getting a film on this.
Oh,
we have to.
We're probably going to be in the history books for it too. What food names need an upgrade?
790-791-1037. The biggest one that I have beef with is just meats. The whole meat in general. Why is some of it named after the animal, and then some of it has a general name? What is beef? What is bacon? Why don't we just call it pig, cow?
Because it sounds awful. Because
But then why doesn't chicken sound awful or turkey sound awful?
Because pig and cow are cute farm animals, and turkey and chicken are not as pretty. I don't know.
And then there's the generalization of fish, but then you like talk about having like salmon or lobster or octopus or
Yeah, those are very clearly exactly what they are.
Yeah. But the whole meat category just needs to be straightforward. Hot dog, hamburger. Like, where are you getting that stuff from? Tell us.
Hamburger is certainly weird because it's not ham most of the time. It is beef burger.
Yeah.
What about sour cream?
That's weird.
I just feel like I don't know how they got us to try it. Like,
Not
it has
sour.
such a terrible name. It's not sour at all. And like, if somebody said, would you like some sour cream in your coffee? I would be like, absolutely not. I can't imagine ever deciding to give that a taste. So the fact that that exists, I think, is just like, what kind of marketing team did they have on that for us to be like, yes, put it in containers and we'll eat it with our nachos?
Yeah. If you have one to add to the list, a food name that needs an upgrade, feel free to give us a text or call, 780-791-1037.
I'm thinking about Red Delicious apples. They are not the most delicious apple.
I can't even recall what those taste like. I can't even recall what any of the apples taste like. I just usually eat the apple in front of me.
Okay, well, I'm going to give you a hint. Honeycrisp apples are far superior. Pink Lady apples, even Fiji apples.
Okay.
But Red Delicious are just like,
Hold up.
take or leave it.
Hold up. You don't like fruit. How are you having an opinion on this?
Okay.
Where is this coming from?
I eat an apple once every 6 months. I cut it up with a knife and I eat about 3 slices of it. And then I say to my husband, I'm done with this. And so if it so happens that my once every 6 months apple is a Red Delicious, it is even far more disappointing than the fact that I'm eating fruit.
It pushes back the apple eating date like 8 months now instead of 6 months if you have one of those bad boys. Okay, I guess like if you only have one every now and then you definitely remember what you're eating.
Yeah, you remember that Red Delicious is not nearly as delicious as all the other apples.
Just strike the name, essentially. Give it a new name because it's not the most delicious.
Red okay.
Yeah.
Red so-so.
Very average, mediocre. All right.
Want more of today's show?
Download the Mixed Mornings and More podcast.
Now available every weekday.